Everyone start. Hey, Tiger fans, once again, it's time for Tiger Talk. And this week, we're being sponsored by Homeland Bank. As always, we'll be joined by Coach Johnson this week. And our guest this week is number 4, our quarterback and running back and safety, Tough Street. Also joining us tonight, number 24, Jesse Stowe, running back and safety also. We'll be talking about last week's Montgomery game, breaking that tough 36-32 loss to the Montgomery Tigers. The Tigers wrapped up the regular season with a 6-4 record and 2-3 in district play. Then we'll turn our focus on the upcoming playoff matchup against Elton Indians. We'll talk game prep, key players, and what it will take for the Tigers to make a strong postseason run. All right, Coach. That was a tough-fought game last week. What are your overall thoughts on how your team competed last Thursday night?
Oh, I was proud of the effort. They played hard. We played physical. We did everything we wanted to do as far as from an offensive standpoint because we established a running game. I think we had the most total offensive yards we had all season last week. We had a big rushing night. Jesse had 230-something yards rushing. Yeah. Tough had right at 150. I mean, so we ran the ball. The only thing we didn't successfully do that I wanted to was control the clock, and that's ultimately what ended up biting us there at the end. So,
on the opening drive, you moved the ball methodically. 3 minutes and 15 seconds down the field for a touchdown, but came up short on a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, it was a good start to the game for us to be able to do that and kind of set the tone early and let them know it was going to be a game. And also the biggest thing is, like you said, 3 minutes. I'm used to us having 7 or 8 minute drives.
Yeah.
That way we can keep that guy off the field. But it was okay. I mean, I'm fine with it. We did what we needed to do up front. I always hate not getting the 2-point conversion. We got to do a better job of that on those. We've tried just about everything this year. It's just like a weird Achilles heel. But that's what I told the kids in practice this week. I'm like, guys, we will go march down the field on somebody averaging 8 yards a carry. Yes, we get down to the 3-yard line and it's like, boom, stop. I'm like, crap. Like, come on. But
brick wall.
Yeah.
You had a couple of offensive penalties on Montgomery's open possession that gave them, defensive penalties that gave them easier third downs. How do you balance being aggressive up front with staying disciplined in those situations?
Yeah, that's one of those things we gotta do a good job of. You know, that's something we practice every week continually as ball key every week. That's the first drill that the defensive linemen do as soon as they get ready. Because if you don't have a good get off, first of all, you're not going to be a great D lineman. But also, not only having a get off, if you're undisciplined and give them easy free yardage, especially an offense that doesn't need any help, that's for sure. Yeah. Then you put yourself in situations like that. And we work on it a lot. And during the game, I'm sure people probably hear us. Anytime there's an opportunity, a team would go for a hard count or something, we always are yelling ball key, always.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating when that happens. And but we got to be better at it. And that's something we've worked on once again this week.
Montgomery came right back with a fast drive, just over 2 minutes, hitting on passing touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. Was that more about their tempo or whether there are coverage issues you'll want to clean up?
Really and truly, I would say overall in the game, not just then, coverage issues weren't really a big deal. Right. It was tempo killed us a little bit at times because when they were going to their tempo, we were trying to get lined up. And they do a variety of formations, so you got to move around and have good communication. And we had worked on it a lot during the week. But as you guys know, especially at our level, it's nearly impossible to replicate that in practice with your scout team guys. And that's something we had to adjust to. Yeah, no, you don't. And one of the good things we did, though, is as the game went on, we kind of settled into it for the most part of the game. But once there towards the end, though, once our pass rush started wearing off and we wasn't getting as much pressure and forcing it out, I can't blame the DBs when they're having to cover 7-8 seconds because overall they did good. But when you stretch a play out that long and extend it, it's hard to do. And you see that at every level.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, when Mason Jordan, I seen him, he sat in that pocket for a while, but then when y'all did put pressure on him, he would roll out and still make straight on passes. That kid, he's on another level. He's pretty good.
He's incredible.
On your second possession, a mishandled snap really set you back behind the chains. How tough was it to recover from that early mistake, especially after such strong opening drive?
That's a big deal. You know, there was a couple moments last week, not just that, where we put ourselves behind the chains and we kind of took ourselves away an opportunity to go up and extend the lead. Against a team like that, you've got to establish a lead. and you've got to take advantage of every offensive possession you get because your defense is going to get some stops. They may make a mistake or two here or there, but it's not going to be consistent when that offense moves it like that. I mean, they've scored on everybody this year.
Yeah.
They put up yards on everybody this year, and we knew that going into it. And something like that's a big miscue that we haven't had a lot of this year, but in that moment, that just can't happen. We got to grow from that.
On your third possession, y'all was facing a 3rd down and 2, and Jesse broke loose for a huge 45-yard run that put you deep in the red zone. What did you see on that play, and how big was that moment for shifting momentum back your way?
He had several runs like that, so I'm trying to remember the specific one.
This is the third possession.
I think that one was a gap play that we had ran, a little gap scheme play. Yep. And basically what we have is a guard pulling through to the linebacker, and as he pulled through to the backer, Jesse made a good cut and bent it back across the formation. And he was able to get downhill violently, might I add, because he always does that. And then finished the run great, as he always does. So
I'm gonna say there was a small crease, and he went right through that little bitty crease.
Yeah, it don't take much.
After White's touchdown run, the 2-point conversion didn't go your way again. Did you consider kicking the extra point at that point, or were you confident the offense would eventually cash in on one of those looks?
Well, I was confident they'd cash in. I had started considering it because that week leading up to that, Cooper had done a really good job in practice making some of these extra points. But that was the first time all year we've done good at it, so I was kind of still skeptical. I was like, okay, we're talking about 5 times out of 2,000 we might. So I was skeptical, but I was willing to give it a shot still on 2-point conversion. So we did it, and we failed. So
yeah. Billingsley's interception inside your own red zone stopped what looked like another potential Montgomery score. What does that play say about your defensive ability to stay composed and make a stand when it matters most?
Well, we've done that a lot this year, and I mean, you've mentioned this before, and when we're forcing turnovers, we usually come out on top. It's rare for us to win the turnover battle and lose a game.
Yeah,
and that happened Friday, unfortunately, or Thursday, but. The biggest thing is in that moment we needed the takeaway, and that gave us an opportunity to go up 2 scores there late in the first half, and we didn't capitalize off of it like we needed to. But credit to Billingsley for having his head on a swivel and being in position off the deflected ball. So
you mentioned them 7-minute drives. Well, after that interception, you put together a 7-minute drive that really chewed up the clock. On 4th and 1, you decided to go for it, and you threw the ball instead of running. Can you walk us through that decision? Did you see something specific in Montgomery's defense that you wanted to attack?
That was a called running play. My quarterback took the liberty to throw the RPO. Having said that, I'm not mad at him about it, and I told him that. I said, look, in that situation when it's 4th and 1, go ahead and get the first down, and if the RPO is open, we'll come back to it. On that one, it's a designed RPO that's built into every play because a lot of people think RPO is like an offense or a play call. It's not. It's a tag.
Right.
That's just a pass concept you have on the run play that's got to come out hot, and it was open.
It was.
It was just timing was a little off, and at the end of the day, that's a 50-50 ball at best, whereas running the called play is definitely a 100%er. And I don't blame him for it because it was there, and I appreciate him reading it and trying to make a play. And if we hit it, then we're up 2 scores, and it looks great.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks we're a genius, but in that moment there, it happened, and we got to be able to recuperate and come back and play better.
Yeah.
So
after that big sack that forced Montgomery to punt, you got the ball back with just a minute and 17 left in the half. What was the plan for the short time, and how important was it to try to capitalize on the defensive momentum before halftime?
Well, originally the plan was let's run the ball and see what happens, and then I don't remember if it was Jesse or Tough. One of them got a pretty good chunk play. Yeah, they got a pretty good chunk play, and I was like, okay, maybe we can score. We got in scoring striking distance, so I was like, let's try to throw it a little bit, and ended up throwing a pick, but I wasn't mad at that. Right. I mean, the way we threw it to the sideline was a good location because if it isn't complete, if it's picked, they're going out of bounds immediately, or if it's incomplete, we live to fight another day. And it was as time was expiring, so I wasn't that concerned with it. We were just going to take our shot. The running play set it up, and then we took the shot, didn't score. We took it to half. It is what it is.
Well, you just answered my next question, so I'll move on.
Okay.
On the onside kick recovery, gave you perfect chance to extend your lead, but 4th and out stalled things. Was it a matter of execution, play calling, or just Montgomery's defense stepping it up?
Well, it was more execution on that one because I got a couple of my offensive linemen over, and then I think it was the next drive we started opening up some running lanes again, or maybe a drive after that. But right on that particular drive there, they were bringing some blitz packages in, and it's stuff that we had worked on, but they hadn't shown it in the first half. And when you get in the rhythm of the game, a lot of time those guys get settled in. They think they know what the defense is doing, and when they stun or move somebody, a lot of times they'll get off their track or quit doing their rules in that moment. And the first play of that drive was a pretty good run, so it should have. We had like second and short and couldn't get it. And so a lot of that was just miscommunication up front, and they stalled us out. Good job to them making those calls in that situation. Obviously, got to give them credit, but also we got to do a better job of picking that up and asserting ourselves there, because a touchdown after that onside kick, again, you get a 2-possession lead, it's a big deal. A lot of missed opportunities there.
Montgomery came back fast with a touchdown, a successful 2-point conversion, all in just 1 minute and 33 seconds. How did that quick score impact your defense, and what did you see that allowed them to move the ball so efficiently?
Well, I seen a quarterback,
Mason Jordan,
throwing the ball 40 yards down the field on the run and hitting someone in stride across his body. Stuff you tell people not to do, and he was making it happen. Brett Favre-esque. So,
and he has some pretty good receivers too.
Number
11, number 1 or whatever,
tall guy
catches his one on the sideline, puts his feet down perfect. That was
and then number 4 is a quick little guy.
He was everywhere.
Number 4 was. I mean, they're getting open when they have extended plays, and he's just making the throw. So
if you give him time, he's going to find somebody for sure.
Right.
He is what he advertised as. Your offense responded efficiently with a drive lasting just over 3 minutes, finishing with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. How did you approach that drive, and what adjustments helped you move the ball so effectively?
Really, the only adjustments was going back over our rules on the sideline with a few of the younger linemen, because we got a couple of them that don't play a lot of defense, so that gives me a liberty to talk to them, but also tell them what to tell the other guys to communicate. And big credit to Tanner Delaney. He helped me talk to him and clean that up. He done a really good job with that. And we came back and did really the same game plan that we started the half with, and we drove it right down the field on them. As a matter of fact, a little bit quicker than I would have wanted in that moment, but it worked out, and we did good. So,
forcing Montgomery to a 3-and-out right after you scoring your drive was huge. What was that result of particular scheme or just solid execution by your defensive unit?
It was good execution there. We were getting off some blocks, creating some havoc, and we were able to stay on our coverages a little long. I mean, Coach Boyd does a good job mixing up fronts and mixing up coverages, because when you're going against a quarterback like that, if you stay in the same stuff, he's going to pick it apart.
Right.
So we mixed it up all night, and we just had some good calls there, and then with those calls, we executed. So that was all that was.
On the next drive, you had some big plays, a 15-yard run by Tuff and a 30-yard pass to Finley. But was like a 27. I just gave him a couple 3 extra yards anyway. But came up just short on the 4th down. How frustrating was it to come so close, and what did you see from the offense on that series?
That was frustrating, and that's what I was talking to somebody about the other day. When you give the ball to Wyatt King on the 4th and 1, and he doesn't get it, that's crazy.
Yes.
And I give Montgomery credit there. They made a good play, but also, sure, we got to do a better job executing, but I'm trying to think of how I want to say this. He was very close. That's all I'm going to say. And the ball, I don't know if I necessarily agree with the spot still, but we're not going to talk about it.
No, I was up there in the stands watching. I said, man, I need to measure it one more time.
Well, they spotted the ball, and it seemed like it got moved back a little bit, but that's not my job. So
your defense come up big once again, forcing Montgomery to punt. How important was that stop in keeping your team with the momentum?
It's very important, because we had kind of put ourselves in a situation again. Another opportunity where we should have had a 2-score lead. Really, probably should have had a 3-score lead. And so we needed to stop there, and we needed to try to convert. So, I mean, like I talked about, we moved the ball a lot, but in big moments, we didn't do the things we needed to help our defense out. And like when you're playing a team like that has that kind of offense and that type of quarterback, they're going to get theirs.
Right.
So, I mean, you just got to make big moments when they count, and we did there.
LaSalle took over on their own 42, and Tuff broke loose for a huge 50-something yard touchdown up the middle. What did you see on that play, and how big was it for your offense to strike quickly like that?
So early in the game, they came out in the odd front and was trying to manipulate us a little bit with their blocking schemes, because most of the year they stayed even. And so obviously we designed our run schemes around that. But when I seen them come out in the way they came out odd, I had some schemes that we had put in that week to exploit that, because I had a feeling that might would happen. And so then they moved back even and started tightening to condense the middle, because we were having success on the interior run with Jesse and some stuff like that. So that run to Tuff there was just a simple quarterback power play. And what the reason I called that is I noticed the drive before the end was staying kind of wide, and they were bringing pressure from the opposite side. So when you get the flow with the quarterback power fake that we get with White or Jesse in the backfield, obviously they honor it, and that seals that in to be able to be on his own, and you got one linebacker, and that was the most we've ran that play a lot this year for a lot of yards. I think that was the best we've blocked it the entire season. Everybody blocked their guy at the right angle with the right footwork, and as soon as that hole opened, as soon as he hit it, I was like, oh, he's gone. Oh, I mean, because
that hole was huge.
It was huge. I could drive my truck through it. I mean, it was massive.
I could have drove my truck through there.
I don't want to give myself credit. The kids just executed that.
Yeah, it was a great ball. It was great. Touch 53-yard touchdown. You called a timeout to discuss going for 2 or kicking an extra point, but a bad snap or mishandled led to a 2-point conversion instead of the extra point. What went into that discussion?
So at that moment, we knew we just needed 1 point to go up by 2 possessions. And as you know, we hadn't had a lot of luck on 2-point conversions at that point. And we haven't been great at it this year at all. And like I said, so, hey, I mean, we only need 1. 2-point conversions obviously aren't working. Let's give Cooper a shot to kick it. So we got out there to kick it. And one of the things we worked on all week, because I said, if I ever go out to kick an extra point, my luck is going to be a bad snap.
Right.
I said, so we're going to work on this call. This is a fire call. Basically, if it's a bad snap, Finley, you're rolling left looking for a running lane. If it's not there, you're floating it to White over their head. Because if there's not a running lane, that guy that's supposed to cover White is going to be on you. And he executed it perfectly. It was a bad snap. He picked it up. He called the fire. White ran the route. The guy covered White. Finley hit the pile
all over White.
So when Finley
did what he was supposed to do.
It worked out. So it was good. That moment, that 2-possession lead that we had been chasing for 3 quarters felt amazing. It felt amazing.
But Montgomery quickly had a 56-yard touchdown pass followed by a 2-point conversion. Made it a 2-point game. Almost instantly. How did you evaluate your defense on the play, and what message did you give the team after such a fast response?
Well, the message there is to just stay within yourselves and let's go back out and score again. Let's just do what we do. Let's control the clock, milk the clock. We'll be good at that, even after that big play. That said, that was a little out route that they ran over here on the sideline. And he came open and got some separation. I think one of our guys got their eyes in the backfield a little bit. And when that happened, he created the separation and he hit the corner. And that's a route they had tried to run several times in that game, and we hadn't given it to them until that play. So I think that was just a lack of focus a little bit, burnt some concentration there after the big score and all the momentum. And it's one of those things you got to avoid that. As Nick Saban would call it, you got to avoid the rat poison. And we didn't in that moment.
It caught you.
Yeah.
Jesse's 38-yard, 25-yard run set up a touchdown in the final minutes, but the 2-point conversion failed. How much did that sequence showcase your team's resilience, and what went into the decision for the 2-point attempt?
Okay, so that sequence was a big deal because they had adjusted back after Tuff's long run. They started squeezing again and playing for the power. So we had to go back to the stuff that worked for us early. And one of the things that we hadn't called a lot was the zone scheme at that point. And I called the zone because what the zone does there is it creates the offensive linemen are moving in the direction of the play as opposed to opposite. So that creates the flow of the defense. When they see the O-line flowing this way, they're automatically going opposite. So when they do that, and we created that flow, and then Tanner Delaney had a really good combo. He got to the linebacker and sealed it, and that creates a cutback lane about as big as that one that Tuff hit, but it's at an angle, so you may not see it from the stands. But Jesse, he ran it perfect all week last week. He's ran it perfect every time we've ever ran it. He hit that hole, split it down the field for 38 yards. Next play, I called the exact same play, and then he scored on it. And it was the same thing both times. Great cut by him, great run by him, but the blocking scheme was blocked perfectly by the O-line too, so it was good.
Yeah, you mentioned Tanner, and I believe that game was probably his best blocking game I've seen him play since he started.
Oh,
he played his butt off.
Since he started,
how many pancakes did he have?
He had like 3 or 4.
I know he was whooping this guy.
He had 3 or 4 like sure out pancakes. He had several knockdowns. You know, they don't really go as a pancake, but they were good blocks. But he that's the best. Like his freshman year, he was here when he started, and he's just kept getting better and better. He's only a sophomore. Sky's the limit. So we got to keep him getting better. That's for sure.
He is really good.
He is good.
Montgomery scored again with 2 minutes and 2 seconds left. You lost some key players. How much did those losses impact your offense, and what adjustments did you try to make in such a short time?
That's a big deal. So we're in a bad spot there already because we already are 1 or 2 timeouts left, and you're less than 2 minutes. And our offense, as you guys know, we're designed to kill 3-4 minutes, run the ball down their throat.
6 minutes.
And then our biggest play back was out. I mean, he got rolled up on, and some other things happened, but he came off the field. And so in that situation, it's like, well, they know if we run, they know Ford's going to be running it. So they were already all night long, their entire focus was stopping him. And
that's every team.
Every team we've played this year. I mean, how he's had 1,200 yards rushing against the defenses he's seen, I have no idea. But to the point, we got in that situation there, and we have a few passing plays that we're okay at, not great, and we just wasn't able to execute like we needed to there. And we actually, I think the first down run, we got a decent little run there, but with that clock running like that, I mean, in that situation, I was wanting to get the first down, but
you had what, 2 timeouts?
Yeah, I think 1 or 2, something like that. Yeah, and taken one, and we had kind of talked it over, and the next running play we tried, we ended up losing like 4 yards, and we had a missed assignment on the front side, but they had overloaded it. I mean, like I said, at that point we were kind of one-dimensional with Jesse out, and so then we went to the I can't remember what the next pass play we called was. Was it the flood? I don't remember. I think it was a flood play we called the next play, and that was incomplete. And then we were going to go no huddle, hurry up, and come back to another little concept we like to run in that situation on third or fourth down at that point, 4th and 7 or 8, whatever it was. And anyway, I ended up calling a timeout there, which they were trying to call timeout too at the same time because they weren't lined up right. We weren't lined up right. I was calling timeout because I didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage. It was going to be a penalty. It had we got the snapped off.
You had to.
I had to use my last timeout. And he was trying to call it because they had all their DBs were walked down over here, and we had guys uncovered. I'd have loved to.
You should have heard the coach up there. Stop celebrating and get on the ball. Talking about Montgomery. He was going nuts up there.
Big moment. So, but anyway, we ended up getting the timeout, and we had put him out at receiver and put Luke in because Luke throws a good ball, but that's a tough spot for him to come in off the bench. And
I mean, a freshman, but he almost completed it.
He did.
It would have been short because he come back across and caught it.
Remind me after this, I'll show you a picture from the sideline.
Oh, okay. So from that side,
they ruled it incomplete. They said he dropped it.
I thought he caught it.
I thought he caught it too.
Short.
Now, well, I'll show you a picture.
Okay,
These guys have seen it. They've seen it. But to the point, though, I mean, in that situation, we didn't need to be there. Yeah. We had an opportunity earlier in the game to be up by 2 or 3 scores. We take advantage of that. That never happens. And so we put ourselves in the position to be where we're not comfortable. And to get over that hump and beat teams like that, we've got to be able to. We got to be able to do our game plan. Yes, so that's ultimately what happened there.
After a few years without a playoff spot, we're gonna say what 4 years because they were freshmen.
They were freshmen, yeah.
So 2020.
That was
2021.
22.
Okay, 22. LaSalle now faces Elton. What do you expect from the matchup, and how do you plan to leverage your team strength?
So in that game, Elton's a good football team, first of all, but they got a really special running back, and everybody knows that. He's 2,200 yards on the season, a lot of touchdowns. He's very good, and pretty much their offense is designed to feature him, and rightfully so. It should be. So that matchup is going to be a very physical football game. You're going to see 2 teams who are very similar. We both want to run the football. We both want to control the clock. We both want to play good run defense. So I don't know what to expect, but I know it's going to be a good game. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity.
How's your team preparing to limit his impact on the game?
We're doing a lot. We've done a lot this week, and we've done a lot of tackling drills this week. We've done a lot of individual type drills that a lot of times people don't do this late in the year, especially in 1A, but we focus on it because that's going to be a big part of what we need to do this week. Rally to the football and make a lot of clean tackles. So,
are you changing anything on your defense scheme to adapt to their high-powered attack?
Yeah, I mean,
without giving it away.
I mean, what they do well is a lot of the stuff we've seen early in the year, like when we played teams like Lakeside and Maryville. Some of these guys, they run a lot of different formations, and they're just trying to run the ball out of all of them and trying to get you out of alignment. So we focused a lot on this week of being disciplined, knowing where to line up, because one of the principles that I've seen in all these coaches clinics and stuff I go to with all these guys, it was the defense coordinator at LSU a few years back. But he called it a casket principle. And casket represents C is call, A is alignment, and then S is your stance. The first 3 things you have to do on defense is know what your job is, know where to line up, and know how to get in a proper stance for what you're trying to do. Then the rest of it's whatever. But to the point, if we can do those 3 things, that's going to take care of 90% of the problems that we could face. And we're going to put them in a position to where they have to play really well in order to score and beat us. And that's what we're going to try to do is force them to play perfect, and therefore, if we can do that, we give ourselves a good chance in this game.
What message are you giving your players this week to stay focused against a team that has been dominant?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the message is simple. You're fighting for your lives.
Mhm.
Playoffs is here. It's do or die.
Do
This
or
is
die.
it. You either win or you go home. Your career's over. Your season's over. Whatever it may be. So, I mean, you're fighting for your life, and you got to have that type of mentality. I mean, when we step on the field, I mean, it's a battle. I mean, everything you've ever held dear, everything you've ever worked for, it's all came to this point.
That's
You got to
it.
make the most of it.
Are there specific matchups or situations you're targeting to exploit weaknesses in Elton's defense?
There will. I mean, there is every week. There's stuff that we'll do every week for that. There's certain opportunities and things that if they present themselves, we'll do it. And like I said, for playoffs, you always have a little something extra that you're putting in to have in your back pocket, and we'll see what we can do.
Which players are stepping up in practice this week to help your team to be ready for Elton?
Well, we've had a lot of sickness this week around the school.
No.
A lot of kids have been out sick and stomach bugs and just head cold, stuff like that.
Bad time.
Yeah, bad timing, worst timing ever. And that said, I've had a lot of young guys stepping up on the line and getting a lot of reps. Brody Kirkland, Bronx Bertrand, they've been doing a lot this week for us in practice, which is good because we're getting all of our guys kind of back now towards the end of the week, which is good.
Yeah.
But now that they've had all these extra reps, that gives us a little bit more depth to where if somebody needs a break or goes that, God forbid, goes down, then we have some guys I know that I can put in and have at least gotten enough reps to know what's going on. So,
with some key injuries affecting the team, how much do you think those absent will impact your game playing against Elton, and who do you see stepping up to fill those roles?
Well, I mean, that's always a big deal when you're down with some key guys. Like Landon Callender on the D-line this week against the run's a big deal not having him. I mean, I hope we can – I mean, we should get him back next week if we can win this one, so hopefully we can do that for him. And, some of these other guys we're not going to like. Cooper's not going to be available this week after his injury last week, and then and Jesse's questionable right now. So, I mean, we'll see how that goes. But to the point, I mean, without these guys, we have guys behind them that I trust can step up. Like, I mean, I got other running backs. Wyatt King is a great running back. I mean, and he can do everything that Jesse does from a schematic standpoint. He's just hasn't had to because we have Jesse. And then, Braden Tannehill being out's a big deal because he was kind of the next guy behind Jesse that has that mold. And Mason Lee can do it too. I mean, he's proven that he's a good runner. So we got options and we got different things that we've been experimenting this week to put our offense in a better position. So we'll see what we can do to make up for that. So basically, to answer your question, we have kids that are going to be forced to step up in some ways, but we've done stuff to try to help those kids do that.
Along the way, yeah. Well, up next, number 4, Tough Street at quarterback and safety. Across the season, he's compiled 278 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 1,215 rushing yards, and 11 touchdowns. And on defense, 34 tackles, 21 assists, totaling 55 tackles, 1 sack, and 6 interceptions. Last week, Coach said you had like 135 yards running, and then you had like 40 yards passing. Tough, what a game against Montgomery. You contributed both offensively and defensively. Looking back, what stands out most to you about how you performed in that game?
Really effort. I mean, it doesn't start with me. It starts with my O-line. The O-line get me the ball, and their push. They're, believe it or not, behind the scenes, they're hyping each other up, and this getting me fired up for them. And them getting fired up is firing me up more. And I'm like, hey, guys, let's get the ball here, and I promise you I'll get y'all first down. So the effort really just 110% go, pound the ball down their throats.
On your opening drive, your team executed a quick for y'all, 3-minute drive for a touchdown, but you missed a 2-point conversion. How did that set the tone for you and your teammates early in that game?
I pulled the offense. Well, I got the offensive guys together. I was like, hey, next time we'll get it next time, guys. Let's just let it be, go down the score, drive again, get another touchdown, and see what it works from there. We're going to try to get it. That's what we've been trying to do, as Coach said. I mean, he had faith in us. We had faith in ourselves. We just couldn't pull through.
That's good when you have a coach that has so much faith in and confidence in y'all, and y'all have the same with him. You were all over the field on defense. From Billings' interception to your own tackles and pressure on Montgomery, how important was it for you to help the defense create stops and key moments?
I've been telling Coach Boyd all season. I was like, Coach, I just want to go get the quarterback, and then he finally he let me do it, and then I feel like I proved myself to him, and I got the quarterback. I had a sack, obviously, but staying back deep in coverage all night was a really big key because Mason Jordan, he's a really good really good quarterback. He can get out the pocket. He can roll out. He can do whatever. If he finds an open guy, he's going to get him the ball. And I've told myself all week, if I don't make good tackles, if our team don't make good tackles, they're going to throw the ball all over us. Coach Witt, Coach Johnson's all said it to us. I mean, really tackling was key that game, and staying on coverage.
Yeah, y'all did. That's probably one of the best defensive games I've watched y'all play. I mean, y'all come out on the bad end of it, but that's one of them. And y'all held him with under 300 yards. A lot of teams ain't held him with under 300, and they was moving you down in the box, sending you on blitzes sometimes, and you was getting home, and that was disrupting a lot of stuff too.
Yeah.
On your 30-yard connection to Finley, it was a huge play. Was it a huge play in your mind? How big was it that throw in terms of keeping that drive alive and setting up a scoring opportunity?
Really, I dropped back in the pocket. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I knew Caden was down there somewhere. I seen him coming out of his break, so I threw the ball up. I didn't see that defender there. The defender picked the ball off, and
Right.
Caden got his hands back on the ball. And I know if he does that, he's gonna have the ball on his way down. And I looked at the sidelines whenever I heard everybody from Montgomery screaming. And then I looked to the sidelines. I was like, "Oh no!" And I got up. I started running for the football, and all I hear is my team cheering. And Caden come down with the ball, and then that set up our momentum. That got us all fired up.
Yeah.
Everybody was all hyped up, and that set up that scoring drive.
The long touchdown run was incredible. What did you see on the field that let you break free like that? And how did it feel to put your team in the end zone on that play?
It felt really nice, but overall, we needed to milk the clock. Honestly, I don't even know how to say it. With that power, the quarterback power, the whole team flows with me going and handing the ball off to one of my running backs, and me pulling the ball. It really confuses the defense. And with that massive hole, I guess.
It was huge.
Yeah, that huge hole that I ran through. I mean, if I'm in an open field, nobody's going to catch me. I think
Right.
Montgomery's coach knew it. Just open field, getting the team in the end zone, and then I don't know if it was that drive that we tried to kick, but we tried the 2-point conversion again, I think, and we didn't. Did we pull that one off?
Was that the extra?
No, that was extra point.
That was the extra point.
Well, we was gonna kick it, and Finley ran us in.
Yeah, that was nice. That got everybody fired up with Coach Johnson saying that the little fire call or whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know if Alex and Caden planned it or not, but it worked out in our favor.
They said they did. They better not have.
It worked out in our favor. But
It worked out perfect either way. On defense, wait, let me go back to this one right here. On defense, you and your group came up big multiple times. From the sack that forced a punt to Billings' interception, how proud are you of the way your defense responded in those pressure moments?
super proud. I mean, I'm not with our defense, with our cover guys, sometimes we have 3 deep and 3 in coverage. But that game, getting their good athletic quarterback, I don't even know how to say it. He's good. He's going to find space, and if he finds space on 4th and long, their coach knows that he's going to get one of their receivers the ball. But I had enough faith in my defense to stop him, and then Coach Witt had enough faith in me to put me on the D-line, enough faith in all of our other coverage guys for me to blitz and for them to stay on their guys. And whenever I done that, put us in a really, really good spot to make them turn the ball over.
Now you turn your attention to Elton and the playoffs. LaSalle's first playoff appearance since 2022-2023. What's the mindset in the locker room heading into that matchup, and what do you expect from Elton?
In the locker room, it's really like, hey, guys, this is special. Everybody get fired up for the game, lock in. I mean, we haven't had a playoff game in, 3-4 years since my freshman year. I've been looking forward to this moment since my sophomore year when we wasn't able to pull through in the playoffs. I was like, my senior year, if we don't get a junior, I want to go to the playoffs.
Right.
And I've been telling all my other seniors, hey, lock in. This is something special for us. And then with the seniors that can't play this week, we're going to try and push through to give them an extra week of football. I mean, it's special to me. It means a lot to them and all that good stuff. And just, what was your other question? What was the other part of that question?
What do you expect from Elton?
Expect them to give the ball to 6, give the rock to 6. I mean, he's going to pound the ball up. He's going to try to pound the ball up our throats.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to work. I think our D line has put in enough work and everything, enough effort to be able to stop their run. And then if 6 is his key that I've watched on film is to get outside, and with our contained guys, I don't think he'll be able to do it. Braden Cummings and Aiden Billingsley, I don't think, even though that he's had so many rushing yards, ran so many people over, Aiden and Braden, they're 2 of our key defensive players, and they've made a lot of tackles. I think they're going to pull through for us.
Elton is known for very heavy on the run. As a safety, how do you prepare for a team that likes to pound the ball and control the clock?
Just watch the O-line. If I see the O-line fire off the ball, I'm coming right downhill with them.
Mm-hmm.
Going right downhill with my defense. My defense knows I got their backs. I mean, very rarely will anybody get outside of me, and if they do, I'm going to track them down in open field. But then again, with their O-line firing off the ball, my whole defense is firing with them, and I think that our defensive line can push their defensive or offensive line, and our linebackers are going to fill the gaps. And then I'm there for help. Really, I mean, if he gets in open space,
Track him down.
he's not going to be in open space for long. I'm gonna get there.
You play a huge role on both sides of the ball. How do you balance the mental and physical load of leading the offense at quarterback and then turning around to anchor the defense at safety?
Really, offense at quarterback. I can control the pace of the game. I mean, I like with my cadences, I snap the ball, and I keep myself conditioned, like in practices or whatnot. Like I'll be running around, and then just playing quarterback's a huge key for the team. Everybody's looking up to me. Everybody's asking me what to do. A good balance for that, and at safety on defense, everybody's also asking me what to do. I mean, I have to know. If I don't know, I'll put my team in a bind, and then I do whatever I can for them. Really.
In a playoff atmosphere, emotions will be high. As a team leader, what's your message to your teammates about staying focused and playing with confidence?
Just because I've told them, just because we've won 6 games, we haven't won 6 games in a while. That we're not the best team in the state, the country, or whatnot. We've got to play up to our competition, play better than our competition. And can you reread the question?
In a playoff atmosphere, emotions will be high. As a team leader, what's your message to your teammates about staying focused and playing with confidence?
Really, it's win or go home. I've been telling that all week. If we don't win this game, it's our seniors' last game. I told my seniors, say this is potentially our last practice, and I don't want it to be. And then in the locker room, I've been telling them the same thing. Keep high hopes, play hard, play tough, and I think that we're going to come out on top.
When you take the field Friday night, what's going to be your mindset as a leader, as a playmaker, as someone who helped bring us all back to the postseason?
On defense, it's like for playing safety, watch the quarterback, see ball, get ball, really. And then on offense, making big plays for my team. I feel like my team knows that if the ball's in my hands, we're gonna push the ball. And even Jesse right here, if the ball's in his hands, we're gonna get positive yards. And if we don't, we're gonna bounce right back from it. Really, just being a team leader, telling my team, hey, we got it. We're gonna pick it back up. Don't worry about it. Flush it. And then on 4th down, the whole team's hollering ball key, ball key, ball key. We got to get our offense back on the field and push back down. Now we did against Montgomery, but eventually we couldn't pull through on the 2-point conversions. But in the playoffs, it's something different. Like I said a while ago, win or go home. I don't think any of my seniors or underclassmen want this to be our last football game. It's something special what we got going on here.
I agree. All right. Next up on Tiger Talks, number 24, Jesse Stowe, a key playmaker of the Saw Tigers at running back and strong safety. Jesse's been running hard all season, carrying the ball 147 times, 878 yards, 4 touchdowns. He also has been a steady presence on the field. Last week he had 23 carries for 236?
Yeah.
Man, holy cow. You guys opened the game with a long clock chewing drive that ended in a touchdown. How big was that offensively to come out and make that kind of statement early?
It's really nice. I always like to drag out a drive and really just make plays when they need to be made and not just try to get everything quick. Like make sure you have time to think about what you're doing before you mess up and waste time.
You seemed to find your rhythm early on the ground. What was working for you in those first few series, and how did you feel about the way the offensive line set the tone?
They had a great game. They really did exactly what we needed them to do when we needed them to do it. And the gaps they gave me, I mean, I really couldn't ask for nothing better, and I just did what I do with them.
If they give you a little gap, you find a way to get through there. I don't know how, but you do. There was a couple of missed 2-point conversions in that first half. How did you and the offense stay focused and keep your energy up despite leaving some points on the field?
We just got to look forward to the next play and make the most out of every chance we get touching the ball.
Yep. On your second possession, the mishandled snap pushed you behind the chains. How do you keep your composure and keep that drive alive when something like that happens?
Because I recognize when a mistake is a mistake and not a busted play is something I can get over.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that it wasn't lack of blocking. It was just a bad snap, a mishandled snap, and I know that we can, with a proper block and a proper snap, we can do something with that.
That's what y'all always just lifting each other back up and go on to the next play. Forget about it. That 45-yard run you broke off on 3rd and 2 completely flipped the momentum and set up the red zone opportunity. What did you see from Montgomery's defense on that play?
They were very spaced out. I didn't find myself surrounded by defensive players like I usually do and having to break a lot of tackles. They were here and there, and I could make cuts and find a lot of space, which I don't often get to do.
Yeah. Right after your big run, Wyatt punched it in for the touchdown. How good did it feel to see the offense capitalize on that setup and finish strong?
I always love to see them give it all they got and get a reward for it.
Yeah.
It's nice to see their work they put in gets an outcome from it, positive outcome.
Actually, Wyatt scored on that drive twice. I mean, he was in the end zone.
On top of me whenever they scored.
He was in the end zone by a mile.
A bird's eye view.
That's the first down discussion.
Yeah, okay. I got to see that picture. Coach mentioned that your 7-minute drive in the second quarter was a key moment. As a running back, how do you take pride in helping the team sustain long physical drives like that?
My running style, I like to be physical. I like to hit somebody, and I like to just move the ball down the field and hope somebody can try to stop me. I just like to do that. That's the way I like to run the ball.
What you weigh, 140, 150, soaking wet?
145.
And you run like you weigh 250 or something. There was a few big fourth down moments where your guys went for instead of punting. What's your mindset in those short yardage situations, and how much confidence do you have in your offense to convert?
I'm always confident in 4th and short because I know we don't. It's not often that we don't come out on top on 4th and short because whenever you're that close to a first down, there's not much the defense can do. If not a first down, it's going to be a big play.
Yes, sir. When you look back at the Montgomery game overall, what do you take away from the performance offensively?
I honestly think we had a great performance. I mean, other than a few like just mistakes, just straight out mistakes, I feel like we did very solid whenever we got the ball where it needed to be and everybody accomplished their assignment.
You've been a big voice in the locker room. How tough is it? I'm going to skip that. I don't want to ask you any of that right now. You've been a part of the physical run first offense all season. How do you see guys like Tough and the rest of the backfield stepping up to keep the same energy and balance?
They do a great job. They're just as good as you could ask for somebody to look towards and look for guidance and how to portray yourself in the football field and how to carry yourself as a football player.
Elton's a team that loves to run the football. From what you've seen on film, what will the defense need to do to slow down their ground attack and force them into tough situations?
I haven't played a snap of defense all year.
I know, but
I'm
just
let's play hard-nosed football.
Let me ask Coach that question. Elton's team loves to run the football.
Yeah.
You've seen on film. I know you've seen on film. What will the defense need to do to slow down their ground attack and force them in a tough situation?
Biggest thing is defensive line, eat up blocks, stay in your gaps. Linebacker, identify your keys, flow to the right area. And when we get a hand on the ball carrier, we got to make clean, solid, technically sound tackles. We do those things, we'll be okay.
Hey, we're good. And once again, that wraps up another episode of Tiger Talk. I'm your host, Jason Peppers, alongside Coach Johnson, Tough Street, Jesse Stowe. We'd like to thank once again our sponsors from Homeland Bank for sponsoring the Tigers. We'll see you here next week after LaSalle takes on Elton.